This bike feels like a wound up spring and it just wants to be let loose. Whether you're on the road and you're climbing, it wants to be let loose. Whether you're on a single track like this and you want to let it loose, like it just wants to go. And you get this snappy, fun, lively feel to the handling of it, completely in touch with what's happening on the ground, what's happening with the bike. So look, here's the thing. I love cycling, whether it's on the road, whether it's mountain biking, whether it's gravel biking. I really don't care. I just love to be out riding. I love to be in the mountains like this. But this bike has made me just enjoy and want to ride even more than any other bikes that I've ridden. It just is so much fun. You can take it anywhere. I absolutely love it. And it puts you in places like this. Like look where I am. This is what you get to see when you go on a gravel bike. I can't say enough positive about the Trek Checkpoint. It's just been a super fun bike. I've really enjoyed it. I would recommend it to anyone, whether you're looking for something that's versatile and will go everywhere, whether you're looking for like an adventure, backpacking, bikepacking bike. Like the Trek Checkpoint for me just is that bike. It is so much fun to ride. It goes everywhere and you'll just have a blast on it. All right, so for a quick overview of this bike, this is the Trek Checkpoint Generation 3. This is an SL7. So with the SL7, you get a lot of nice upgrades that I really like so far. Full carbon frame. This comes with the Bontrager carbon wheels. This specific one comes with Trek's IsoSpeed. So the idea behind that is that this decouples the seat post from the rest of the frame, allowing a little bit of play and to soak up some of the vibrations as you're riding. This specific build also comes with the in-frame storage. Trek has done a great job with this. Super easy to get off. You have your bag of goodies in there. You can fit quite a lot, everything that you'd need. I love in-frame storage, whether or not you think it's a gimmick, I love it. Super easy, good looking. Additionally, this one has the SRAM Force Explorer. I feel like the SRAM Force Explorer is probably an upgrade, one step above the SRAM rival that I'm used to riding, so I'm excited for that one as well. Right now, this bike is running some Continentals. They're 50. The one change I've made on this bike is this has a kind of integrated aero handlebar setup. So you can see there, cables are tucked nice and neat, and the bar is quite a bit narrow than what you get with your standard gravel bike. Again, this has mounting points everywhere. So you got mounting points on the top tube, under here. If you want to do Trek's own bag, you can do that under here. Extra water bottle underneath. You have some good frame protection here underneath as well. Some good rubber under there to protect it. You have the steel plate that I like here that kind of protects the chain stays and all of that. You have a chain protector, and overall you get a lot with this bike. So how I would describe how the Trek Checkpoint rides is, this bike is snappy, agile, lively, fun. Like, you know, they always say like the bike like a wound up spring is a common phrase. This bike is very true. This bike feels like a wound up spring and it just wants to be let loose. Whether you're on the road and you're climbing, it wants to be let loose. Whether you're on a single track like this and you want to let it loose, like it just wants to go. And you get this snappy, fun, lively feel to the handling of it. There's no suspension other than the IsoSpeed, so you're just like completely in touch with what's happening on the ground, what's happening with the bike. It really gives you kind of that ultralight hardtail experience with drop bars. It's not a mountain bike by any means, but it does, I don't know, it behaves like a mountain bike when you push it hard. Like like a hardtail, like a fixed bike, it behaves and performs really well. There's just places I won't ride gravel bikes. This is one of them, but this one, it doesn't really care. Like it'll just do it. Yeah, for me, the Trek Checkpoint just checks every single box really well. And it's been one of my most favorite gravel bikes that I've ridden. It's just so versatile, has all the features you want. It's just a great, great bike. If you ride on the dirt, you throw some thick, wide tires on there and you can ride anywhere. If If you're gonna do a road ride, throw some skinnies on there, and it works as a road bike. It has in-frame storage. It has all the mounting points. Has a little bit of suspension in the seat post. Like, you just can't go wrong with this thing. For some reason, it's just so much fun. And I would say even descending on this bike is fun. Sometimes on gravel bikes, descending is like this necessary evil and you don't really enjoy it, but you have to do it and you get kind of rattled to pieces. Again, it is still a gravel bike, so it's not a mountain bike, but it's not that bad descending. Like, I've gone a lot faster descending than I have on any of the other gravel bikes that I've ridden. I will say part of that is going to be the wide tire. So I've run 50s for the most part on this one, and the 50s go a long way on smoothing things out. But the bike too just performs really well. The IsoSpeed does a good job of soaking up the really sharp points, and it just makes for a fun experience whether you're going up or down. All right, this is one of the prettier rides I do. We're coming up on the lake. The lake unfortunately is empty. When it's full, it's really pretty, but this time of the year, late in the season, there's really no water left. But you can see just how gorgeous it is. Pretty. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I love most about gravel biking. So I started on the road. I rode up the fire road on the dirt, and now I'm on single track. And you just can't get that on a road bike, and you can't quite get it on a mountain bike. You can almost get away with it on a really cross-country mountain bike, but a gravel bike's truly, for me, what it means is just a bike that I can just ride anywhere and not have to worry about it. Any terrain, any speed, and I'm good to go. Yeah, I would say this is a pretty rough descent for a gravel bike, and it really doesn't bother you. Like, you almost get, especially with these 50s on here, these wider tires, you almost get like a little bit of a mountain bike confidence. So for me, the IsoSpeed does two things. One, it takes all the sharp bumps, all the bumps that would be normally pretty sharp and pretty painful, and it rounds them out. It makes them smoother, rounded. Instead of like a pointy triangle, it makes them round. And then on the flip side, when you're going fast, all the chatter from like the gravel and the rough, like this. So I'm going fast, I have some good chatter on the rear. It basically just gets rid of that. So you don't really notice the rear end. You almost feel like you're on a mountain bike with the smoothness. So that's really what the IsoSpeed does for me, the two purposes it serves. Yeah, so in talking about the pros and cons real quick for the Trek Checkpoint. As far as pros goes for me, I could just say literally everything about this bike, but I like that it's ultra light for an adventure gravel bike that has all the mounting points, has in-frame storage. It's only 18.5 pounds, and that lightness gives you like a snappy, fun, agile feeling bike. So I really enjoy that part. I enjoy the mounting points everywhere. I've gone on some longer rides and used the mounting points, taken some frame bags and had lots of gear with me. I enjoy the SRAM Explorer system. Most of the bikes I've been riding as of late have the SRAM Rival system. I don't love the SRAM Rival system, but this SRAM Explorer is so much better. It handles the dirt and the mud and the dust a lot better. It doesn't get squeaky, it doesn't get weird on you, it just works. It is a 1x, so it's a 40-52, and I find that works really well. I love in-frame storage. You may think of it as a gimmick. I actually love it because I can put everything in there, and now that it's starting to get a little bit colder, I can actually stash like gloves and jackets in there as well, and I don't have to worry about carrying everything in my back pockets or in a frame bag. So I like the in-frame storage is my favorite. This aero bar, this is an aftermarket ad. It doesn't come stock with this, but I really have enjoyed this aero bar.
when you get into the drops, it is a super comfortable position and you can just kind of fly on it. So not something it comes with, but something I've added. I really enjoy it. The IsoSpeed is a success for me, mainly because it's very subtle. You don't really notice it working, but it does work. And it's no maintenance, so you don't ever have to worry about doing anything to it. It just works on the back of the bike. So IsoSpeed is a win for me as well. Talking about some of the cons, things I don't like about this bike. Number one is going to be the little rubber grommets that cover all the mounting point holes. They just don't stay in right. See, look, what did I say about the grommets? This is the end of my ride. I go down a rough section and they just wiggle themselves out. I know this is a nitpicky thing, but I lose them all the time. They just pop out and it leaves those threaded bolts underneath exposed to the elements. And I feel like they'll get corroded rather quickly. So the grommets are kind of dumb. They just kind of pop out. You could argue that this bike doesn't support wide enough tires. The recommendation is 50 is the max. You could probably get away with a 52, it'd be tight. But for me, if I'm riding anything wider than a 50, then I typically just like to be on my mountain bike. So I don't feel like the tire size is necessarily a huge drawback. For some people it will be, like if you're that guy that runs the biggest tires possible on his gravel bikes, you may feel like that's a disadvantage. And yeah, for me, there's really not a whole lot of cons. I love this bike. I have a lot of fun with it. They've thought of everything. Trek hit it out of the park. They got everything right. And I've just really enjoyed owning it.
So one cool part about the Trek Checkpoint is you get Trek's kind of integrated bag system. So this is the Trek Adventure bag. And the nice part about this is you get specific mounting points. So I know a lot of brands do this, but this actually integrates really well. The tricky part is you have to get the holes lined up just right, but you actually screw that right into the top tube. All right, so this is what it looks like when it's fully mounted. Again, it doesn't quite fit. The frame's a little bit too small for the bag, which is weird for me considering this is a 58 and most people are going to be riding smaller. If you are to look inside, so the zippers are extremely smooth. They can go one finger. Some of the other frame bags that I have are kind of rough on the zippering. They're really stiff. So you have a really smooth zipper. Inside the main compartment, you have 3 liters. So ton of space in here. This little divider strap goes to the other side and allows you to control how wide it opens. You have some dividers in here. So if you want to section it off, you can do that. And I can say this fits a lot of stuff. I've had an entire drone in here, 3 batteries and the remote control for it, and it works perfectly. So on the other side, you have another zippered pocket. This one's a little bit skinnier and this one has pockets inside as well. So stuff for like your keys, quick snacks, wallet can go in here. This one's not as deep, but a little bit more slim profile. Additionally, this bag has 2 external pockets. So this one works great for my phone. You can slip it in there. I've done some rowdy descents on it and it does not come out of there. So I like putting my phone in that spot. And then on the other side, you have this pocket as well. I like to tuck gloves in there just so they're easy access. The frame bag itself is waterproof. I have tested and can verify of that. I was out on a ride today and you can see we got mud drenched, dumped on, pouring rain. I actually had my drone with me. And if you look inside, everything is completely dry. But the outside got coated in water and rain and everything, but inside was pretty much dry. So yeah, waterproof, water resistant, it keeps the water out. And I had a decent amount of water on here pouring on me coming up from the road and it stayed pretty dry. This Trek Checkpoint I've done a lot of riding on. I've done a 206-mile road bike race on it. I've done a couple really big gravel bike races on it, the Wasatch All Road. If you're here in Utah, Lodajaw, if you're here in Utah, those are some of the rides I've done on this bike, and I just love it. Like there's something about it that just makes me want to ride it more and more. I've been running and playing with both a 50 mil tire, the Continental Terra Hardpack, and a 38 in the Specialized Pathfinders. And I find between those 2 tires, like I can really do everything that I want.
I am fortunate enough to have 2 wheel sets that work with this bike, so I just swapped the wheel sets. If I didn't have 2 wheel sets, I'd probably pick like a 45 in probably well, I don't know what tire, but something in a 45. But because I have both wheel sets, I've been switching between the 2 of them, and it's just goes everywhere. Like I love it. I cannot say enough positive about it. I cannot tell you how much I love it. I would recommend this bike to anyone that's thinking about a gravel bike. You will not miss out on anything. If you want to use it as a road bike, it works great as a road bike. Again, I did 206 miles on it, all road, and I kept up with all the road bikers. If you want to use it as like a bikepacking bike, like it'll work for that as well. If you want to, you know, ride it hard in some single track and really beat it, like it'll do that. Like it just, I don't know, it checks every box. It has all the features. Like Trek, you got it right on this bike. I cannot say enough positive about it.
So for me, and I know we're making some bold statements here, but this is that gravel bike. If you want the bike that does it all, that's super fun, that you can ride everywhere, for me, the Trek Checkpoint is that bike. More so than the Specialized Crux. I don't know, I might get in trouble for saying that, but I would say yes. Like, yes, I think it is more so than the Specialized Crux. Sorry. To back up that bold statement about this being slightly better, maybe, than the Specialized Crux, I am going to put together a full comparison of those 2 bikes, ride the same wheels, same tires, and give you the full, like, back to back, how does it feel, which one's better. So feel free to subscribe, that way you see that video when it comes out. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next. Enjoy your gravel riding.
I just really haven't had the luck today. Pouring rain on me. Like mud. Not working out.